probably know Alex Hormozi as the guy who sold his businesses for $100 million, all by the time he was 30. In this video, I'm going to look into his human design chart to see the reasons he's been so successful and to see what you can learn from him. But first, a little look into his background story. If you want to skip straight to his human design chart, there's timestamps in the description. Alex is the son of an Iranian immigrant. Hang on, Iran. Where have I heard that from? Iran. Oh yes, Patrick Bet-David. He's someone else from Iran. What's going on over there? They keep sending over super successful people. But anyway, Alex's dad is Iranian and came to America with nothing more than $1,000 and a medical degree. He moved to Austin, Texas, and that's where Alex was born. Alex worked hard at school. He studied business and went on to work at a defense contractor covering cybersecurity, intelligence, and surveillance. To me, that sounds like Mission Impossible, but Alex says it was basically going to meetings and making color-coded notes. And as good as that sounds, he actually hated it. It was so bad, he figured he'd rather not be alive than stay in the job. And besides, in his spare time, Alex was a competition powerlifter and was always thinking about fitness. So it made sense to do something in the fitness industry. So he has a flash of genius and reaches out to 40 businesses saying he'll work for free. So out of those 40, how many replied? Well, there was just one. But within 36 hours of getting that one yes, Alex had left his job, sold his apartment, ditched all his possessions, and was driving towards his new mentor. A few months later, they opened a gym together. It went well, and they opened another and another. In fact, it went so well that by the time Alex was 23, he'd already become a millionaire. Most entrepreneurs don't get successful on their first attempt, unless you're someone like Mark Zuckerberg. But then normal rules don't seem to apply to him. Just for comparison though, Mark Zuckerberg was 22 when he made his first million, only 1 year earlier than Alex. Alex loves opening gyms, but doesn't love the day-to-day running so much. So he gets the idea to help people fill their gyms so he can do consulting for them. He starts flying out to work with gym owners, spending a few weeks with them to get the gym started. Around this time is when he goes on a date with Layla, who's now his wife today, so no secrets about how well that date went. In fact, it goes so well that Alex thinks they'd be great in business together. Layla's hesitant. She's already a top sales agent. But Alex shows her his latest gym launch where he made $120,000. Layla asks, "So, Alex, is this legal?" "Yep." "Can you teach me how to do this?" "Yeah." Layla sensibly says, "I'm in." What comes next for Alex is some messy deals, a dodgy business partner, and almost quitting the gym business altogether. But through some incredible mental strength and leadership, Alex pulls through. Instead of flying out to gyms and helping them launch, he starts selling the process through Gym Launch. While setting up those gyms, he created all the materials needed for anyone else to do the same. Everything from sales training videos to ad structures. Customers were so happy with Gym Launch, they came back to see what else he had. So Alex started to create other businesses to help people in a similar way to Gym Launch. And by the time he was 30, he'd made his first $100 million. Now he focuses on investing in other companies and helping them 10x their business. Okay, so let's go through Alex's human design to see how all this fits in with his chart. I didn't find Alex's exact birth time, so I've based this on a midday time for him. So here it is. First thing you can see is that he's a manifesting generator. He's a single definition with sacral authority, and he's a 2-4 profile known as the Hermit Opportunist. Now, I want to go through 5 things that have made Alex so successful. Firstly, he's a giver. He describes himself as someone who gives as much as possible. You can see that in the way he's priced his $100 million office book. It's only 99 pence. He gives away courses for free. He's always creating really valuable content for entrepreneurs. And it doesn't matter whether he's helping people launch gyms or grow their business. He's always giving away as much as possible to help. Alex is an unconscious 4-line, which is the opportunist. As a 4-line, you're all about relationships. You want to help people, and you'll see people as equals, no matter if they're sweeping the street or running a FTSE 100 company. People love that warm energy, which is going to work even better when you're a manifesting generator like Alex, with an open aura. The benefit to this is that your network will return the favor, and they'll do that by bringing you opportunities. Think about when Alex had given up on launching gyms and one of his clients offered to buy all his gym launch materials from him. That was a $100 million business idea for Alex. that was handed to him by his network. So if you're a 4-line, my advice would be give freely your time, support, and even if you expect nothing in return, you'll get it back many times over. Running from the G center to the throat, Alex has channel 1333. This is the channel of the prodigal. If you have this channel, you're going to use the experiences you've been through to help people avoid the same mistakes you've made. The channel's made up of gate 13 in the G center, the gate of the listener, which is going to make you an amazing listener. You'll share knowledge with people to build up a real library from all that experience. At the other end, in the throat, is gate 33, the gate of retreat. And gate 33 means you'll want to take time out so you can process the nuggets of information from all that knowledge. The 1333 is a great channel for a leader. And in Alex's case, as someone who's a very generous giver, he's able to give a lot of value to his audience. Looking at Alex's chart, he's got an undefined will center. The will's responsible for driving your heart's desires. When it's defined, you'll stick with something until the end, whatever it takes. When the will's undefined, like in Alex's chart, you're probably going to feel a need to prove yourself. And this is exactly the problem that Alex had. He wanted to make his dad proud by working at the defense contractor job, even though it was making him so unhappy he'd rather be dead. If you have an undefined will center, the thing to remember is that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Making promises and committing to things because you want to prove yourself isn't going to serve you well. On the flip side though, if you do feel the need to prove yourself, you're going to work extremely hard because you're fighting for your self-worth. But the chances are that it won't be aligned action for you. At best, you'll end up unhappy. At worst, you could totally burn out. Over to the solar plexus. This is the center responsible for emotional awareness. So if you're an emotional authority, for instance, you might meet someone who could potentially be a new business partner, and you're really excited about the idea of working together. But as you start to think about it, you might realize it was a terrible idea. Maybe they're risk-averse and over-analytical, while you're creative and spontaneous. And looking back, you wonder why you hadn't seen how you'd clash right away. When you're an emotional authority, always ride the emotional wave and give yourself time to let the emotions settle. If your solar plexus is undefined, like Alex is, that's going to give you a real connection to other people's emotions and how they're feeling. But it can also draw you into their problems too. If your solar plexus is undefined, it's really important to remember that it's not your responsibility to make someone else feel better. As a giver, you can see how Alex's undefined solar plexus would have led him to help his business partners. However, with Alex, all the businesses he worked on by himself did really well, while the ones where he had partners, not so much. So did helping them out help him? Not so much. The next thing that's made Alex so successful is the fact that he's always been really ambitious. From working hard at school to working in management consultancy and building such a massive business in his 20s. Looking down to the root, he has gate 54, the gate of ambition. With this gate, you'll have a powerful hunger to become successful in a big way. It's the gate of business success, not only wanting big financial success, but also wanting the higher status too. What's interesting about this gate is that the drive towards success isn't only material, it can lead to spiritual success too, taking you beyond material goals. In Alex, he became a 9-figure entrepreneur by the time he was 30. So it'll probably come as no surprise to hear that his gate 54 is triple activated. Also in the root center, Alex has gate 38, the gate of the fighter. As the name suggests, you're going to be up for a fight with this gate. Not necessarily a physical fight, but anything that stands in the way of you getting to where you want is going to get destroyed by you. Well, that kind of fight is going to come with struggle. That's totally okay. Because through the struggle, you learn. That wisdom you gain in those battles is going to help you get to the next stage in life. At the other end of the channel is gate 28, the gate of the player. This shows you what's worth the struggle. Without it, you can spend your time fighting for things that aren't right for you. Alex doesn't have gate 28, and also with his undefined solar plexus, it'd be easy to see how he might end up fighting for goals that aren't really his. I'd be very interested to see how Layla's chart fits in with Alex's, because I suspect she gives him a much clearer direction on where to put his energy. Looking to the G center, Alex has gate 10, the gate of behavior. This gate gives you the confidence to just be yourself. You'll feel fine working in whatever way you feel is right for you. You'll have the power to survive no matter whatever you're going after. And in Alex, his gate 10 is double activated. So with gate 54, Alex has everything he needs to think up and go after big goals. And with his 10 and 38 gates, he's got all the power he needs to make them happen, especially when you consider his gate 54 is triple activated and his gate 10 is double activated. Alex has successfully launched several of his own gyms. He's grown many more gyms for other people. He's trained a huge team of salespeople, and to top it all, he's a 9-figure entrepreneur. And looking at his chart, you can see why he's been such a strong leader. Firstly, going back to his chart, he's a single definition, so all his defined centers are connected to each other. That makes him a very self-reliant person. He's not going to need anyone else to bounce ideas off or need anyone's help when coming up with a new strategy. He's also a sacral authority, which means that, unlike an emotional authority, he'll know if something's right from straight away. It's all in the sacral sounds. Whenever you're confronted by something, listen out for the uh-huh or nah, and follow that response. Even if you don't feel it, you can listen to the noise you make and you'll know if you should go after it or not. Over in the will center is gate 21, the gate of control. With this gate, you're a born CEO. Not only are you going to be seen by people as a strong leader, but you're not going to feel comfortable giving control to anyone else. That need to be in control might make you a demanding boss, but it's okay because people are going to feel confident with you in control. Something to watch with gate 21 is that when you aren't in control of everything, that can cause you a lot of anxiety. So don't give away control to anyone else unless you're 100% confident in them. Looking up to the G center, Alex has gate 2, the gate of higher knowledge. Gate 2 is going to give you the superpower of knowing how to approach a problem, which direction to go in and which goals to go after. You're going to be a great leader, an expert at creating plans and strategies. People will naturally look to you for leadership. However, working for someone else is not going to do you any good. Think back to when Alex was working as a management consultant and said he'd rather be dead than continue working in that job. Now, at the other end of that channel, Alex has gate 14 in the sacral. The 214 is the channel of the alchemist. The 14 is in the sacral center, and the sacral is the most powerful of all the 4 motor centers, which means this channel has real power to it. It helps make Alex such a powerful leader. People will trust you and whatever you're telling them to do. What's interesting though is that if you've got 214, you're happy to create successful strategies, but you're not looking for any recognition. Just putting out ideas about what to do is enough for you. The last thing that gives Alex great leadership skills is his incarnation cross. He's got the right angle cross of contagion, 2930-814. And this is all about spreading excitement and enthusiasm for things you're passionate about. The reason Alex moved into setting up gyms was because his colleagues at the management consultancy job said all he ever talked about was fitness. And Alex himself said, until he discovered business, that it was his number one passion. And now Alex is more into business than fitness. He loves the game of business and more importantly, wants to get other people on board. So he does everything he can to help them. The next thing that's made Alex a great entrepreneur is how he builds systems. The man's a systematizer. When he was trying to get out of launching a gym for a client, the client asked if Alex had any documentation that would help. Alex had it all, right down to sales training videos covering what seats prospective gym members should sit in and even what jokes to tell. He's also highly analytical. He applies the 80-20 rule to just about anything. Like when considering what leads to go after, he'll look at the data to decide who are the highest value customers and leave the rest. So he leaves his emotions out of it and focuses on the numbers. One of the reasons he's so good at creating systems is he's got a channel running from his ajna to his head, channel 4764. This is the channel of abstraction. The gate 64 in the head will make you go over past experiences again and again, wanting to try and make sense of what you've been through or learned. The head center is the center of taking information in, so it could be something you've watched, had a conversation about, or experienced directly. But with all this information, it's going to be like trying to put the pieces of a jigsaw together. The gate 47 at the other end is where the jigsaw pieces get put into their correct places. It's where you make sense of all the bits of information coming in. You're going to have a highly analytical mind with this channel, and it'll be really useful for someone like Alex who makes systems with everything. Looking at the connection between his throat and his ajna, Alex has the 2343, the channel of structuring. There's a few different elements to this channel, but one thing is for sure, you're going to be obsessed with putting structure into processes and making them more efficient. That could be as simple as deciding what to wear every day, or as complex as creating sales training for your team. Whatever it is, you'll be looking for ways to make it as simple as possible, while providing as much value as possible. Think about Alex's book, $100 Million Offers. That book, even though it sells for only 99 pence, is a powerhouse of information. It's a really clear and simple to understand book, but covers the content of several business books combined. Alex did several rewrites to make sure it was as simple but also heavy hitting as possible. That's the power of the 2343. Something to watch for is that other people may not be ready to hear your insights. Your thinking can be too far ahead for them, and that's why this channel is nicknamed the Genius to Freak channel. So if you have it, always be sure to read the room to get a sense of how people will take what you say. Otherwise, there's a good chance of getting thrown out of the circle of trust. The last thing that's made Alex so successful is how he's got an amazing investor mindset. He often talks about how Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are his role models, and that's no accident. Looking down to his throat, he's got gate 8, the gate of contribution. This gate is going to make you want to support other people's businesses. It's going to make you want to stand up for others and shout about them to help spread the word. It makes perfect sense that Alex has got into investing in business through acquisition.com. They're already up and running, and then he helps build them up. Gary Vaynerchuk has Gate 8, and he grows businesses through VaynerMedia. The Gate 8 is enough to make you a great investor, but there's more. Alex also has a connection between the G center and the throat, the 1333. This is the channel of the prodigal. You're going to reflect on any experiences from the past, and that can mean mistakes as much as successes, and then pass on what you've learned to other people. Through acquisition.com, Alex takes part ownership in businesses and helps them 10x using all the skills and knowledge he's gained. Connecting the throat and sacral, he's got channel 214. This is the channel of the alchemist. And although it showed up earlier because it's a leadership channel, it's also important here because it's going to make you a great investor. The 214 gives you an excellent feel for what direction to go in, where to go, and how to go. Being able to pass that information on to businesses that you've invested in is going to be massively valuable to them. Alex's human design suggests he's going to make a massively successful investor. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he ends up as big as Warren Buffett in future. Alex is a generous giver with his 1333, his undefined will center and his 4 line. He has vision and is really ambitious thanks to his triple activated 54 and 38 and his double activated gate 10. He's a strong leader through being a single definition. He's gate 21 and his gate 2. He creates systems and makes things more efficient so he can pass on the day-to-day stuff easily because of his 4764 and 2343. Finally, his gate 8, his 1333 and his 214 channels all go to make him a fantastic investor. Thanks to Alex for showing what's possible with a chart like his, and thanks for watching.